So 5 years ago, we decided to meet our neighbors, who ended up being this amazing group of residential foster care people. And we didn't really know much about what they did or who they were, just that they were a foster care facility. So we approached them as industrial designers wanting to help.
Helping Hand Home for Children is a residential treatment center here in Austin, Texas. The children that reside at Helping Hand Home for Children are victims of horrific abuse. Our program is designed to look beyond the behaviors that manifest from that trauma and the lack of healthy neurodevelopment and find out how we can help meet that emotional, psychological need that they didn't get early on.
Through talking to them and meeting their staff and really kind of understanding what they do, we were able to kick off a big design research project, which result of that were 3 rooms that are still used today and that have changed a big part of their therapy. And during this time, I met Doris and went to a design learning network at NOCA, and then we found out that we had common ground with adoption and with foster care, and then we decided to really just kind of merge our interest into this project.
Exactly. So we not only want them to be able to use their problem-solving skills, but feel comfortable in doing that. And that's what we want to have happen for every child, for every person. We began the process of understanding each child that we were designing for through these scenarios. Their challenges, an area, a habit of mind that they would benefit from working on, and then really getting into more of an educational framework where we understood what the target was, what our critical question that we were trying to address, the criteria that we were trying to meet, and then phases that the child potentially could be in.
And from there, we started the process of convergent and divergent thinking, catalyst for ways to explore activities or things that might help them with their healing. What the teams decided to do was to take these habits and then start to ideate and create, and then we kind of turned the corner and said, okay, now go the next step, and then push it a little past the obvious.
And that's what this whole session was about. Let's come up with some new ideas that will help us tackle the problems we have from a different perspective. And if anything from the design community, I think that that's the main message that we'd be able to give any other company is just think about it a different way. You might be surprised by the outcome.
What I was so impressed with is that teams went in a very short period of time from I don't know what I'm doing to this is it and we own it and this is, we feel really good about this. But again, they were using it not about themselves, but in the name and the voice and the embodiment of the child that would be going through this learning process.
He could have pages like posted in his room and like show staff like, hey, look at this successful story that I had today, and then put them all together into a comic book, and then he can read at bedtime to the other kids like his successes.
So maybe there was some way that they could do a collaborative effort and she would be in charge of the costumes or something, and she would have that role of authority, so she would gain that perspective.
Now when that person is going to be leaving Helping Hands home, they take someone else's card that graduated as something to remind them of this personal journey.